How's everybody doing? Hey, Isaac!
What's
What's
up?
up?
How are you feeling?
Excellent!
Yes! I don't want you to scream. I don't want you to say anything. I want to hear the rest of the entity. I know you're awake. I want to see if everybody else is here or not. How are you feeling?
Excellent.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes! Amazing, amazing. Guys, believe it or not, so I'm just gonna, while I share my screen, believe it or not, it's already the end of your conference. I don't know how you guys feel about that. How do you feel about it?
Not so excellent.
Not so excellent.
Sad.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. Facilitators, if your delegates have actually wanted you to continue and they're not happy it's over, then that's definitely a thumbs up for you. It's a really good indicator. Well done. Unfortunately, this means also that it's actually my last session with you guys. So hopefully we'll make it a good one. All right. So let's see how this goes, and let's see what I have planned for you for this last closing of NatCo 2021. So I want to do a little recap, and ideally I was going to say a recap just of the day, but I want you to take a couple of, like, literally just like 30 seconds, close your eyes, just think back to the last 2 days, think back at today, the different sessions you went through, what were your learnings, the people you spoke to, aha moments, reflections, realizations, questions, thoughts, anything like that. All right, so just take deep breath, close your eyes, think about it. I'd like about 2 people just to share, what was like your biggest learning, or what was something that came out of today? What was something that happened, a conversation that you had that really like struck you? Something that got you emotionally, it got you, it maybe gave you goosebumps, or maybe, it was like, oh, wow, just like one of those wow moments, wow factors.
Hi,
Hi.
Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
So from today, what I learned was experiences helps and makes us take the best decisions ever in life. So that's what I found out, because everybody had a story to tell. Everybody had great experiences in Isaac, and that's what creates the best life choices.
Amazing. Oh, I love that. Well done. Cool. I'm
Thank you.
happy. Thank you for sharing. Who else?
Actually, to be honest, the morning sessions were all worth it. I mean, literally, it was all worth it.
Well, I'm glad, because if you're gonna wake up early and if you're gonna be there on time, you're gonna listen, then I definitely hope that it is worth it. And I know that the team's put in a lot of effort throughout the entire conference. And here's the thing, you guys, you don't realize, like, you come for the conference and you come for these hours, even if they're long hours, even if they're 6 hours a day. But you
For
need to
Isaac,
keep in
we'll wake
mind.
up anytime.
That's amazing. But what you guys need to realize is that it's not just these 6 or 12 hours, right? The team that's preparing it, they have to they start preparing for this weeks in advance, right? It's
Yeah,
not just these
that's
6 hours.
amazing.
They're putting together the sessions, they're putting together the perfect flow, they're creating the content, they're practicing, doing rehearsals for their sessions, and all of that stuff. So it's good to know that it was worth it. Thank you. Who else?
Me, hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I think the probably like emotional, or most time that was that struck me. I think that's a few moments ago, like when I was having this conversation with Silver, and I talked about, like I live in Lebanon, but I also go to Dubai, so it's like in and out. It's like I talked about the differences between Dubai and Lebanon. It's like night and day, and how like almost so basically I summarize it. We're 6 million with the refugees, because there are like 2 million refugees in Lebanon. So we're 4 million. So in one moment, one time, one day, 300,000 out of 4 million just went out of the country, just like that, because there's no opportunity, no knowledge, no nothing. There's zero.
Mhm.
There's nothing. So there's also these rural areas in Lebanon, like northern and southern Lebanon, and we talked about like the importance of helping these people, the importance of Isaac. We also talked about Isaac's global talent, a global volunteer, global teacher, and how we can incorporate this with these people, because these people like how should I say this? Like you have this 8-year-old child, and these people they're on the streets, they're demanding their rights, they want their rights, they want to live this regular life. And when you talk to this child, you talk to him, really you just talk to him. He tells you, you ask him, what do you want? He tells you, my biggest goal is just having just lunch. I just want to eat, basically. Simple as that. I just want to eat. Just want
So
water to drink.
how was the
So
conversation that you had? How did it
it
strike you
was,
emotionally?
yeah, it was emotional because he also had the same experience.
Yeah.
Like he's a person of Togo and he went to Uganda. He didn't know, like he only knew French.
Mhm.
So his educational experience, and he also talked about helping the rural people, like helping these people, and they also talked about like helping these kids, helping them become the next generation of Isaacers. So uh, like these 2 points of view coming
Amazing.
together, yeah,
Of
like
course.
like it is amazing.
Of
And
course.
we also talked about how Isaac probably could help in this.
For sure. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so thank you for sharing in detail, because keep in mind, guys, that you might learn so much, but there's sometimes things you'll forget, but you'll never forget the emotion. You'll never forget how you felt. Right. So that's and the fact that you found someone who has a similar kind of experience or thought is definitely someone you need to continue having a conversation with. I saw someone had a hand up. I didn't get to finish reading your name.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was speaking at the beginning. I'm so sorry for interrupting. Um, I think, okay, first of all, earlier today, I realized that it is extremely important to be on time. Like you mentioned in the beginning itself that you're going to be the change if you're on time. So, yeah, that was actually very rewarding, I guess, for waking up that early. So thank you for that. And throughout this entire day, and I mean yesterday as well, like throughout this entire conference, I've realized one thing. Like it's the journey changes you completely. Like everyone that came on a board and spoke about their experiences, their journey was so inspiring, was so and it actually inspired me to do more. And some people may think that spending 6 hours in front of a laptop may seem like a very redundant task, but actually it was very interesting because uh, I came to ISEC to get a cross cultural experience. And I think learning about each other's experiences, how struggles and how they grow out of it, is also a part of that. So I think ISEC is a place, as a platform, it provides a safe space for people to grow and learn.
Amazing.
And I think that is what I have
That's
done.
true.
Like I learned a lot
That's
today.
amazing. And this is only from a couple of hours. This is just from 2 days. Imagine what the journey can be like. Like you guys saw yesterday, how long my journey has been and how many experiences. And so you can imagine not just from these 2 days, but from, everything that you can possibly get. So that's amazing. Thank you guys
I
so
think
much for sharing. Yes, go for it.
I was just gonna say that I think the journey itself is an accomplishment. So
Mm.
yeah, congrats to you and the entire team.
Well, it's not to me, definitely to the team for putting all of this together. And one day, by the way, one day, you guys who are in this room, remember that everyone who organized this conference was one day in your shoes. They were new to ISEC, which means that I guarantee you that the people in this room in a couple of months, they're gonna be the ones organizing this kind of conference for other newbies. You guys will get to pass it forward. You'll get to repay to the rest of the community because you will be the people facilitating these sessions. You will be the people inspiring these sessions. All right, Now, what I want you to do as well is go back to the sheet where you wrote down kind of like what you wanted to do during the conference, conversations you wanted to have, questions you wanted to have. And I want you just to flip through that or open it up and look through it and just be like, okay, how much of it have I achieved? All right, how many conversations that I want to have that I had, people I wanted to speak to that I spoke to, thoughts or questions that I had or doubts that I had, did I get them answered? Did I have the conversations? Did I do what I wanted to do? If I wanted to speak up more, did I speak up more? If I wanted to speak once, did I speak once? Right? So just look through that. And also at the same time, if you're looking through it and you see that there's things you hadn't gotten done, today might be the end of the conference, but it's definitely not the end or the last chance for you to get this done. There's going to be many conferences and there's going to be many other experiences and opportunities for you. And it doesn't only need to happen at a conference. Take the time on your own time to reach out, to do something, to talk, be proactive. Again, if we're talking about the leaders that we need, you know that we don't want leaders or we don't want people that sit around and wait for people to tell them what to do. And I don't think we want that either. So you take the opportunity, be proactive, reach out and do whatever you need to do to get you to where you want to be. So I have a question for you guys. Another one. I know I've had a lot of questions for everybody, but if you were not here this weekend, having the kinds of conversations that you had, listening to the kinds of workshops or talks or sessions that you were listening to, where would you be and what would you be doing? Now, of course, we cannot tell the future. However, think back to the last couple of months, to the last couple of weekends, to the last couple of years, and you can find a pattern. So I know that what your answer should be like is something along the lines of probably this is what I would be doing. So probably I would be watching TV. Probably I would be out, just like driving around because I have nothing to do. Or probably I'll be doing this or that. So I really want you to take the time and think about, okay, everything that I gained this weekend, if I wasn't here, what would I have actually been doing? And with that, it's kind of a follow-up question, all right? That if you continue your journey with ISEC, especially for those who started or even for those who've been here for a while, if you continue with ISEC, you're going to continue having these kinds of conversations. You're going to continue developing yourself and you're going to continue developing the world around you, right? And the conversations you're going to be having are not just with the people, in the country or in your entity. You're going to be open, and you've seen, again, through my experience, all of the different people, all of the different countries, all of the different experiences that I got to have. That you have the opportunity to have a similar journey or better. So if you do choose to continue with ISEC, then you kind of can see how exciting things can be. But if you don't, what will the next few months or years look like for you? Will it just be another typical, student's life or graduate's life, or just going back to the life that I used to have before this conference, going back to having the same kinds of conversations that my friends or that my family have? What will it be like? And it's your choice. There's a quote that says, there are only two things that shape your life: the people around you and your attitude. And your attitude is often also affected by the people around you. So you get to choose the kind of people you surround yourself by. When I was younger, my mom used to tell me, if you end up studying, for example, and being a doctor, you're going to be surrounded by doctors. If you're going to, become an engineer, you're going to be surrounded by engineers. And at the time, I didn't really understand. But when I realized this, for example, when I joined CrossFit, everyone around me, everyone that I knew was like super fit. And it makes sense. It's kind of logical, right? It's like, of course, because I put myself in this community. So everyone around me that I'm seeing is super fit, right? When I went to Malta, although I wasn't studying medicine, but the majority of the local Kuwaitis or the Kuwaitis that were there were studying medicine. So now, whenever someone needs a doctor and I have friends, they tell me, how did you know? I was like, oh, because I was in Malta and I surrounded myself with doctors, right? So really think about the type of people that you want to surround yourself with. Is it people who sit down and talk about the latest fashions? And that's not a bad thing if, for example, if your dream is to become like a top fashion designer and change the world with fashion, then you want to surround yourself with those kind of people, right? But if you look around you and you see most of your friends are the kinds that just sit down and gossip or play video games or anything like that, is you will continue to surround yourself with these kind of people. So what is the kind of surroundings? Who are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with? Because here in ISEC, I think if you look around, all right, you will see that if you choose to surround yourself with strong and inspiring people who talk about leadership and who talk about being the change, not just sitting there talking about, oh, the world needs to get better. Leaders need to do this. Oh, our leaders are corrupt. Our system's corrupt. No, but they talk about changing themselves in order to change the future. Then what kind of people are they going to be? And what kind of person are you going to be if this is the people that surround you? And you've only been here 2 days, some of you, with this conference. So if you continue to surround yourself with these kind of people having these kind of conversations, who have these types of ambitions, then what is your life going to look like? Now, in today's world, knowing the problem is not really something special anymore. It doesn't really do anything. Before, they used to say, if you want to solve something, first you need to identify the problem. A lot of the things that happen, especially outside in the world, are things that people know about. They know that there's climate issues. They know that there's human trafficking. They know that there's racism. Okay, knowing doesn't really do much anymore. And the problem is that if everybody around you is expecting someone else to solve the problem, then what are we doing? Who's going to solve it? If I'm sitting down expecting my parents or my brothers to fix something in the house and they're expecting me to fix the problem, then we're not going to change anything. So do you want to be part of the problem where you're just part of the group of people that are complaining? Or do you want to be part of the solution? Part of the people that are making the change and making the solution. Why? Because you choose to surround yourself with people who are solution oriented. Now, let me ask you a question. If you could be a better leader, would you be? Yes, no, either type in the chat or just voice it, say yeah, or no.
Yes.
Yes. I'm assuming the majority of the people here would say yes, right? That if I could be a better leader, I would. Now, the question is how, right? Because all of us want to be great. We all want to be amazing. We all want to achieve great things. We all want to be remembered for doing great things, right? But the question is how. Now, before even asking how, it's okay, we want to be better leaders, great, but what exactly is leadership? Is leadership really about, stopping wars? Is it really about you have to do something huge and great, something the whole world talks about to be considered a leader or to be considered a good leader? Or is it sometimes about lollipop moments? Now, if you guys are looking at me like, okay, I was with you, but now you said lollipop moments, I'm completely lost. All right. What I want you to do again is I want you to open up your phone or open up a tab, go on YouTube, and I want you to type in lollipop moment TEDx. All right. So lollipop moment TEDx, you're going to see kind of like a big guy with glasses. All right. And it's a 5-minute video. So I'm going to watch it at the same time you guys are. And you guys should also be done by the time that I'm done as well. All right. So we have Hania or Hania. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. She's saying it was eye-opening, thought-provoking, and inspirational. That's definitely how I felt. I remember the first time I saw it, it made me think, right? Made me be like, have we been defining leadership in the wrong way? Or do we just have the wrong perception of leadership, right? That's kind of like what was going through my head. And I realized leadership is not just about huge things. It's, for me, it became anything where I can affect a person, impact a person, and especially get them to change as well and to feel that was something incredible. Aman, yeah, right. All right, guys, I hope you're done the video. If you're not, then I will continue. I hope you can continue watching it later, but just because we gotta wrap things up, and I just have a couple of slides to go through before we finally close up the conference, right? So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that video. It's one I never get bored of. So okay, so sometimes we said it's about the lollipop moments, right? Sometimes it's about doing bigger things, right? But we already discussed how, right? When I asked you guys, can you do you want to be better leaders, or if you could be better leaders, would you? And you all said yes. And the question was how. So here's the thing that I would say. All right, let's at least start with looking at asking some questions, right? And they're very simple questions, but just take some time one day to sit down and just answer these things, all right? And these questions are like, what kind of leaders do I personally, or you as an individual, what kind of leaders do you like to have? I'm sure you've been in positions where, or like whether it's even with your teachers or in a group at university or at your work or whatever, where you had someone leading and there's someone you enjoy to follow, and there's some people you don't enjoy, you just don't like having them as leaders. So what kind of leaders do you like to have who lead you, who are your team leaders? And then ask yourself, why do you enjoy their leadership? And write these things down, because they do this, because they are like this, because da da da. And then the other way around, what kind of leaders do you not like to have, right? What kind of leaders do you not enjoy, and why don't you enjoy them? What do they do that makes you not enjoy? Are they too bossy? Are they too demanding? Are they too, what is it? Ask yourself, who are the current existing leaders that are around the world, even the large ones, whether it's political leaders or a leader of your, like, I don't know, group, right? Who are the leaders? Why are these leaders people you want to be like, and why? Again, what do they do? And who are the leaders that you believe they just need to leave? Like if you have a president of your country and you're like, this guy has got to go, why? Is he too selfish? Is he bad at decision making? Is he too greedy? Like what's going on? Write these down, right? And for me, that's the starting point of how to make sure that you end up being a better leader. Now, with leadership, all right, there's different kinds of leaders, and I'm sure you guys will understand this. Which one of these do you want to be? Do you want to be a leader people follow you because they have to? Do you enjoy a leader when they are your team leader, right? Are you closer? Are you more willing to follow a leader that is your leader because they are forced to be your leader? Reason? Or are you happier with the leader that you trust because of who they are and because of what they represent? And these are kind of at the opposite ends of the spectrum. Leader because you have to be, people follow you because of your position, because of your authority, or even if you have no authority or no position, but people still look at you as a leader because of who you are and what you represent. Which one would you prefer to be? And then think about what are the things that make you that kind of leader. And what things get you from being, the easiest part is to be a leader because of your position. The most difficult thing is becoming a leader and that people follow you because they trust you. So how do you go from this to that? So there's actually something called the 5 levels of leadership, where the basic one, as I mentioned, is that people follow you because they have to. And then there's the pinnacle. Well, people follow you because they respect you and they trust you. All right. And then there's the parts in between. And these are stages, right? Will start at one point and you can go up to different levels. And keep in mind that with different people, you're on different levels of leadership. You're not necessarily the same level of leadership with everyone. All right, it could be with these 2 people, no, they trust you. Maybe with these people, they don't trust you 100% yet. Maybe you're on a level 4 leadership with them. Maybe with someone new, you're a level 1 leader with them. This comes from a book called The 5 Levels of Leadership. It's an easy read and it's wonderful. All right, I really suggest that you guys read it. And what's great is that there is also like a workbook, there's like tools and things like that, there's very simple check boxes. I wanted to share these with you, but because of the time restraints that I've chosen not to. However, if you reach definitely share some of the material that I have that I've used with my own team, with my team leaders, for my team leaders to find out what kind of levels of leadership do they have with their members as well. So after you answer all of these questions and you look through them and you really study them and you reflect about them, work on becoming that leader that inspires you. Work on becoming closer to that leader that inspires you, that you want to be like, that you would be willing to follow. And of course, surround yourself with the people who will help you get there. Surround yourself with the people who will pull you up, who will push you forward, and who will make sure that they take you to the place that you want to be, that inspire you. So again, do you want to be part of the problem, or do you want to be the change yourself? Do you want to start changing within yourself, not just talking about what other people should do, but you do what you believe other people should do as well and be part of the solution?